actually stop using your rangefinder. I would encourage you just start using your eyes and just feel out the shot.
Hey, welcome back to Wicked Smart Golf. I'm Michael Leonard, and today I want to help you become a wedge wizard. That's right, one of the pillars of becoming a wicked smart golfer that I talk about in my new book is the importance of owning your wedge game. Wedges are so important, yet it's one of the most overlooked things for amateur golfers. A lot of times we're more focused on technique on the range, driver, hitting irons, and kind of just leaving short game and putting as a last resort. But in reality, the more you can master your game from 125 yards and in, the sooner you can start becoming a wicked smart golfer and playing better than you ever thought possible. Today I'm going to share a clip from an interview I did with Kyle Rhodes, a mini tour player who has one of the best swings I've seen and has tons of great tips on his TikTok and Instagram. So make sure you follow him. You can click the links down in the description. But let's go into what a mini tour golfer says are the best ways to become a wedge wizard.
What kind of advice would you give to the everyday golfer out there when it comes to practicing with wedges or just overall wedge advice?
Yeah, so I would encourage people to actually, one quick tip would be, let's say that 50 to 100 yard range. You know, that's kind of an area that a lot of people struggle. I would actually stop using your rangefinder. I would encourage you to start using your eyes and just feel out the shot. And what you'll notice is your distance control will actually be a lot better. I think a lot of people have this, oh, this is 70 yards. I have my 70-yard swing. You know, that can work, but I think helping people get more reactive, get more external, and not thinking so much about swing and just no rangefinder, use your eyes, hit the shot. I think that can really help. Obviously, chipping with wedges, you want to be picking a landing spot and really, you know, chipping's all about controlling spin and trajectory. And so just making sure you don't hit the shot until you see it exactly in your mind, stuff like that.
I love that. I think that is great wedge advice. In fact, I'm kind of raising my hand over here when you said that. I get a little too dependent on the rangefinder. And then, like you said, we get a little too robotic when inside 100 yards is really just all hands and feel. Do you have like certain distances that you try? Do you have like, you know, your lob wedge, you have your stock distance and like a knockdown? Do you have one or two or three distances kind of like set up with each wedge, or do you just go more on the feel side of things?
I would say for all of my wedges, I know what the full swing is, the full swing distance. And then I know what I call like a 10 to 2 swing is. So it's like a clock system. So basically like left arm parallel to the ground to right arm parallel to the ground, like, or maybe slightly more than that. So I know like, or that's like a 3/4 shot, I guess. I know what the full swing is and I know what the 3/4 goes. And then everything else from that's kind of feel based off of those. But ultimately, you got to find what works for you. I just think in general with wedges, it's feel. And so that might work best for me. It's not going to be perfect for everybody, but just get external and be an athlete and just use feel.
I love that. Yeah. I mean, Tiger, arguably the greatest with the hands there. And I mean, I love just watching him just practice and like just at the chipping green, you know, whether it's at Augusta or some other event, like it's just so fun when the waste management's here. I go and just watch them on the chipping green, like just to see their feel is amazing. And they're not really thinking about mechanics or anything out there. I mean, for the most part, it's just, where am I going to land this thing? And that to me is satisfying. That's like the artistry of the game that I think that some people have kind of went away from because we're just all about hitting bombs, which is fun, but you know, there's nothing worse than hitting it 340 yards and then you make par every time. That's pretty frustrating too. So I'm glad you brought that up.
Most of the game is played inside 125 yards. So make sure you're using these tips from Kyle to become a wedge wizard. Now, I can't stress this enough because so many golfers that I see on the practice tee and practice facility are working on a lot of long irons, a lot of hybrids, a lot of 3-woods. In reality, those clubs are just not going to be hit very frequently on the course. In reality, you should spend most of your practice time with 3 clubs. Your driver, your favorite wedge, probably your sand wedge or your lob wedge, and your putter. When you do that, you are going to have so much confidence because you're going to use those clubs roughly 70 to 80% of all shots on any given round. So really work on those because it's going to make a massive impact to leading to lower scores quickly quickly. Not to mention, unlike the full swing when you're trying to hit 7 irons and 5 irons and all these clubs that are just harder to hit even for skilled players, wedges are just easier to hit in general, and the more you can actually get confidence with that, you know that if you hit a bad drive and you have to chip out sideways and you have to wedge back onto the green and try and save par, or if you miss the green and you know you need a good up and down, when your wedge game is strong, it really helps free up the rest of your game because you know you have that in the bag and you can get it close and still save par. At worst case, have a bogey and move on. Just remember, you practice your wedges a lot more than your irons and you will become a wicked smart golfer too. Thanks again for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications so you don't miss any of these epic interviews. Thanks again for watching, and as always, I hope you have an epic day on the links.